This weather report brought to you by Eastman and Richards Real Estate. Big enough to get results, small enough to care.
It was cold, wasn't it? Now, many centres in Queensland awoke to the coldest morning of the year today, including the local area. Now, all the right ingredients were there: dry air of southern or continental origin, clear skies, light winds, and of course the right month. And guess what? I would expect tomorrow morning to be slightly warmer so you can relax. How's that for a beautiful background photograph? Righto, how cold was it this morning? Now, Clermont, I think that was taken in Surrey Street, but guess what the minimum was at the airport? Minus 0.9. Mackay Airport, look at that, 4.8. And that was at 11 minutes after 6 this morning. That was the coldest for 2010. What's the coldest temperature for Mackay? That was taken at Mackay Post Office in River Street, a temperature of plus 1.7. Not this morning, but that was back on July the 3rd, 1899. So that remains the coldest temperature recorded for Mackay. But again, considerably cooler this morning at the airport there compared to Mount Bassett. Look at Collinsville, 3 degrees, even Proserpine Airport, 3 degrees. As I say, the coldest morning of the year right through the region. Current conditions for Mackay, the temperature 17 in the south-southeasterly 14 kilometres an hour. Okay, most of the continent remains relatively cloud-free. We've still got a smidgen of cloud coming over the northwest Gulf of Carpentaria. That may advect over the local area late tomorrow. And we've got that cold front coming through Victoria. And that represents a surface trough which will move through the local area here early Friday morning. Queensland at 3 o'clock this afternoon, relatively sky clear right throughout the state. You had to go a good 80 to 100 kilometres off the coast to encounter any cloud. There may have been a little bit up there in the Clark Ranges, but nothing of significance. And consequently, the local Weather Watch radars displayed nil echoes. Onto the chart, basically good weather for the next several days. Fairly light winds, I'd say, relatively speaking. Here comes the next change, as I say, moving through Friday morning, back to southerlies then. At this stage, looks like quite a major rain event maybe next Tuesday. But until then, the fine weather should persist, but not as cold tonight. The local forecast for the Central Coast and the Whitsundays, cloudy but fine at times. I should say fine but cloudy at times. East and northeast winds and fine also for Friday. For the Central Highlands and Coalfields, fine, a little milder tonight. Some cloudy periods tomorrow. Northeast to northwest winds with a late southwest change. That's late Thursday. Fine for Friday. Maritime observations at 3 o'clock. Hay Point, welcome back, south-southeast at 11 knots. Now, coastal waters tomorrow, not too bad. South to southeast, 10 to 15. Backing east to northeast, 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon or evening. So pretty good conditions. And for Friday, just watch out for those southerlies freshening later in the day to 15 to 20. Sun up tomorrow morning, 6:33, and finally the summary, fine conditions persisting, not as cold overnight. That's it for the weather. Now it's back to Sam.
Thanks, Peter. I hope it's not as cold as it was this morning. That was unbearable.
Yeah, needed an extra blanket on the bed this morning.
Turned my electric blanket up a bit. That's the local news for now. We'll be back with updates across the evening. Join us tomorrow night for the best hour of news from 6 p.m. Thanks for your company. Good night.
Good night.